How's it going, everybody? Today I have a pretty cool video for you guys. I'm going to be working on this laptop that I actually plan to use for day-to-day use. I got this laptop along with a few other things from a family member, so I'm sure you'll see videos about that very soon. Anyways, I plan to do some very basic upgrades on this thing, reinstall Windows, and see what it can do. For reference, this laptop's rocking a Ryzen 5 2500U with 4 cores and boosts up to 3.6 GHz. It also has Radeon Vega 8 mobile graphics, a 1080p screen, along with a 1TB hard drive and 8GB of DDR4 memory, both of which we'll be upgrading later on. My goal with this thing is to have something better than the school Chromebook I was given to by my school. I mean, that thing's barely hanging on, but also have something capable of dealing with workloads like editing on the go. This laptop can definitely run some games, but I probably won't be using it for that. Like I said previously, this is more well suited for video editing or just creative applications. Anyways, with all that said and done, let's get into the actual video. The first thing I did was unbox the charger for this laptop I got off of Amazon. When I got this laptop, it didn't have a charger and it was dead, so I had no clue if it even worked or not. Here it is. We gotta make sure it fits everything in. Okay, we have power. Okay, here's nothing. It turns on. After plugging in the laptop, it took a charge and actually loaded into Windows. With this newfound knowledge, I shut down the laptop and ate some Airheads. We cracked open, I think we cracked open the Airheads. I love Airheads. Anyways, I finally started to get to work on this thing and opened the back. Although this laptop was only held together with 4 screws, the clips themselves that connected the back plate to the main section of the laptop were really hard to pry open. And this is just so tough. This tiny little guitar pick tool for prying open stuff like this is really having trouble just getting in there. There we go. There we go. That is by far one of the most difficult laptops I've ever taken apart. There we go. And it's not even dirty on the inside, it's very clean. With the back panel finally off, I get to my first objective, which is getting the hard drive out of its enclosure. The family member who gave me this laptop wants me to remove the hard drive and put it in an enclosure to be used as an external hard drive, which is why I'm removing it in the first place. You know. Okay, so here's the hard drive. It is a 1TB Seagate hard drive. Next, I removed the memory out of this computer. This laptop has 8GB of memory, 4 of which are soldered on, and this 4 is just in the form of a stick, which I can replace with more. But yeah, this is a 4GB stick of DDR4. I don't know if it has RAM soldered on the other side of the board. After this, I opened up an old gaming laptop I had that had bricked. Initially, I had given my sister this laptop to use after I built my PC, but now it's bricked and just not working, so I'm gonna scrap some parts from it to use in this laptop. Here we go. The next thing I did was salvage even more parts from a computer. I had this old HP small form factor desktop lying around that was given to me from a school. They were planning on throwing it out, but ended up giving it to me. Anyways, this PC had a SATA SSD in it that I wanted to use in the actual laptop I was working on. I hate how they put them on these rolly trays. It unironically does like the opposite of making them easy to upgrade. 256 gig SSD. This isn't bad. We'll use this. Now that I had all the parts to upgrade with, I started first with the RAM. Let's put in our DDR4 8GB stick of laptop memory. That's in. Then I screwed the SSD into the enclosure and plugged it in. I also noticed a M.2 slot that I did not notice previously. My excuse for this is that it was hidden under a ribbon cable. Anyways, after noticing this, I went and took one of the M.2 SSDs back out of the gaming laptop I had, just for it to not work. So The BIOS for some reason wasn't detecting it, and I honestly have no clue why, and I didn't really feel like figuring it out. I just sort of chalked it up to the laptop not being able to support NVMe drives, but for some reason having an M.2 port. Anyways, I took it back out after realizing this. Anyways, I packed the laptop up and finally got to wiping it down. I should have done this first, but it wasn't that dirty in the first place. But I got it cleaned up and looking nice. Anyways, I got a USB prepped with the Windows installation on it. I went into the BIOS of the laptop, and this is when I realized the M.2 drive was not being detected. Not detecting the M.2. I didn't record it, but I had to take the M.2 SSD out, and then I had to convert the drive over from MBR to GPT. But after all that, I got Windows 11 installed. Now this is the point in the video where I'm pretty much always out of B-roll, so now I've got to shoot more. And like most tech YouTubers, I'll go outside and shoot whatever I'm working on in some sort of nature. Oh wait, I already did that. Anyways, my final verdict about this laptop is that it runs well. I'm able to edit and do basic stuff on DaVinci, which is really what I need it to do, smoothly and efficiently. It loads web pages fast, and I never really noticed any stuttering. I mean, there's not much else to expect. It's a more than capable laptop, and it achieves most modern tasks thrown at it. Hopefully I'll be able to use it for both schoolwork and video editing. I haven't been able to use it for a long time yet. It seems decent, at least for the times I've been using it. Running the Cinebench test, the laptop scored a 156 on multi-core performance and a whole 53 points for a single core. Yeah, it's definitely not great by any means. Probably the best way to describe this is mid. If you forgot or just skipped past the beginning, this laptop had a Ryzen 5 2500U with 4 cores, 8 threads, and a base clock speed of 2 GHz. All in all, I'm not surprised by the Cinebench results. It's not a crazy CPU, but it definitely gets the job done and holds its weight, especially in editing. I know I keep saying this, but editing on it was surprisingly smooth. I mean, I doubt it would hold its weight if I were to go into like the Fusion tab and start playing around with effects, but outside of that, it does very well. Anyways, that sums up most of my thoughts. Alright, now it's time for me to wrap up this video. For a free laptop, this was definitely worth it. I mean, I don't know very many people who wouldn't take a free laptop. Looking back, I definitely want to see what that M.2 problem I mentioned earlier was about, because if I'm going to be honest, I still don't know what was causing that. I read online that some laptops or motherboards in general just have M.2 slots, but they might not support NVMe drives, which is kind of odd to me, but you know. I've also been thinking about future upgrades. As of now, it has a 256 gigabyte SATA SSD, which in my opinion might not be enough in the future, and I'd definitely be looking into getting possibly a 1 terabyte version. But yeah, that just about sums up this video. If you did end up liking this video, feel free to drop a like, let me know why, and if you dislike this video, feel free to drop a dislike. Let me know why you disliked it. If there's anything you think I did wrong, or maybe you have advice on how to get the M.2 slot working, please let me know in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate that. Anyways, that's about it, so later.